Hello, I'm Ginny. I work with the Friends of Waterford Park, and we're going to do a brief tour of Waterford Park, show you a few of the things that you might see that are in bloom at this time of year, and I'll try to give you an idea of the scope of the park. It's 18 acres, so we are going to first go down this entrance that's at Meadowdale Lane. That's where you will be entering the park, and then we're going to walk east toward Carroll Creek.
Okay.
One of the trees that is in bloom right now is the Fringe Tree, and all of the plants I'll be talking about, the whole purpose of this park is to, for the Friends of Waterford Park, is to have tried to remove invasive plants and to plant native plants, and the Fringe Tree is certainly one beautiful native plant. We've walked east, heading toward Frederick. We've got holly trees, sassafras, dogwoods, spruce, and oaks. We're looking south toward the shared use path, which is past the meadow, and up here on the hill is a horse chestnut cultivar Briati, which is in full bloom right now. We are now looking southeast, and we will walk down toward the Carroll Creek Bridge in a little bit, but one of the things that our group has done in the park is to allow people to donate, and we have many benches for people's enjoyment. It's a passive park, so we don't have playground equipment or anything, but lots of places to sit and enjoy. And as you look toward the east that way, what you're seeing are some fairly good-sized trees, and there were 400 of them planted in 2006. And we have that whole area mowed twice a year because we don't want the invasive plants to take over the understory. Those 400 trees were planted by about 45 people, and the money came from the Chesapeake Bay Trust. What we are looking at now is a Winter King hawthorn, rust resistant. We have many cedar trees, so we try to pick off the rust growth so that trees like the serviceberries and the hawthorns can bloom and bear fruit. And in the background is an area we're going to look at. We call it our turtle area, and we'll go there next. This is an area where children love to come sit on the turtle. We call it our turtle area. It's an area full of native grasses, switchgrass, little blue stem, sea oats, and prairie dropseed. And again, these are cut back in early spring and will regrow and become quite beautiful come fall. As we go toward the east with the camera, you will see the shared use path that comes from Baker Park, and what you're looking at, that bridge in the background, goes over Carroll Creek and under the Route 15 underpass, and you arrive at Schifferstadt. What we're looking at is a closer view of some of those 400 trees planted in 2006, and as we pan around with the camera, you'll see one of the bat houses that we have. We do encourage wildlife of all sorts. This is an area that we are just developing across from the turtle area, the other side of the path. It has some native azaleas, ferns, serviceberries, hazelnuts, witch hazels, and hopefully by next year all of these plants will be a bit larger for you to enjoy. What we're looking at now as we head west is one of the viburnums that's in bloom. That's a Cranberry Viburnum, and it is behind two metal benches that have been here for quite some time. The city has repainted them. Behind them are ostrich ferns and Canadian anemone ground covers. This is another one of the viburnums that's in bloom. This is an arrowwood viburnum along the path. We are down from the Meadowdale entrance, and we are looking at the Waterford Park sign and also at a kiosk where we keep information. We keep a map because there are lots of new visitors to the park, and we keep lists of the most recent bird sightings that we've had. Underneath are coral honeysuckle. We cut them back periodically, so they haven't grown out yet. Mountain mint, native plants, a good area for people to stop and get their bearings. This area is planted, and the bench was donated in memory of Larry Key, a runner who really enjoyed this park. And there are native hibiscus, which are just coming up, and again, a variety of native plants and shrubs. In about a month, it'll really start showing its beauty. Here's a plant along the path that, unless you're really looking, you might miss. It's a Carolina allspice, and this one happens to be fragrant, a very nice native plant. This is an area of winterberry hollies and American hollies. In the background are some of the many trees that have been planted either by donations or by grant funds with the city. And right directly in the fenced area is a cutting from the willow tree that fell in Baker Park. So we were very proud to have gotten a piece of that willow. We'll let it grow, we'll give it some signage. We are looking west from the middle of the three bridges that cross Rock Creek. We're looking west. The stones, the waterfall, there was a massive stream bank stabilization project that was completed in 2019, and it is intended to help stop the erosion that plagues this creek. The creek flows down from behind the Frederick Town Mall. Well, it flows from the mountains, but behind Frederick Town Mall, all the way down, paralleling Route 40, and because so much of that is paved, this area is really prone to flash flooding. We're standing looking at Rock Creek at one of the areas that we have planted with native shrubs and wildflowers. The bench was donated by friends of this lady who died a couple of years ago. And as we pan to the right, you'll see there's another sign here, and that is a sign that talks about our treatment of ash trees. We've been treating approximately 3 dozen, well, we haven't, Bartlett Tree Experts has been treating every other year about 3 dozen ash trees, and we have probably 2 more treatments to go. We're hoping to be done in 2023. There are more than 40 signs like this one in the park that designate the more than 40 species of native trees that are here. There are also various other signs that are, donations or memorials or just signs that point out native shrubs. One of the areas we'd love for you to come see is a little closer to Bachman's Lane, and this is a mixture of shrubs and perennials that was an Eagle Scout project 2 years ago, and it's just turned out very well. And as we look more to the west, we will see the rest of the path, the rest of the park. Again, lots of plantings all along Rock Creek, and you can see Bachman's Lane in the distance. We hope that you come and enjoy Waterford Park at any time of year. But hopefully, if we do have the garden tour next year, you'll be able to come see it in person.